So
But
tell me,
anyway,
what kind of tree is that?
this is the closest thing to the American chestnut,
Okay.
and they've been working on this particular variety since the 30s,
Okay.
and they finally come in production with them. And this is the third year, but so anyway, we went ahead and went back to a central leader to try to make these things get up and branch out high enough that we can get up on them with the mower. You know, because otherwise you will have a hard time cutting around them and whatnot. But you see this, every branch will tell you where to cut it. It's called a branch collar, and you have a little wrinkle. You see that wrinkle right there?
Yeah.
And then you see that little bulge right there at the bottom of it?
Yeah.
All right, your correct line to cut is from that point right there, just on the outside of that wrinkle, to right above that bulge. See, so that's, you got that much too much sticking out.
Yeah.
And what that's going to do is it's going to give you an area for diseases to get down in that plant. These particular cells right here are what they call an adventitious cell.
Yeah.
Which means it expands. It does something different. You know, it's not like the cells that's in this piece of wood right here. It's actually made to callus over and cover that thing and cover that wound. A plant never really heals. It only encapsulates the wound.
Yeah.
So I'll need to come back and actually make another little cut right there to get rid of that little nub. And when you see one nubbed off, you know, on any tree, and it's nubbed off that long, what you've done is you've set that tree up to die eventually, because it's going to get heart rot, because the water's going to come in here and pathogens are going to come in here, bacteria or whatever, and it's going to cause that whole center to rot out, because the center of the plant is not alive. You know, it's like your bones. It's a structural part of the plant, but it's not like the outside of the plant. So, but hopefully we'll get this thing going up right. We'll let the limbs come on out here. These baskets are what we made to keep the deer off of it. We got a tremendous pressure on this piece of property with deer. All of the building going on around here is driving them all into this area, which is one of the few areas where they can really come and hide. And so we have to protect the trees, or they'll totally destroy them.
And so you want that leader to be as straight as possible?
As straight as possible. Now I probably won't. The only thing I'll do from now on is anything below, say 4 or 5 feet tall, I'll cut it off, and then all the limbs out here. The only time I'll take any limbs off from now on will be for crossovers or broken branches. But I'll try to keep that thing, and I'll let it go from now on. It's ready to go. Once this comes back out, that's going to be my tree.
How many of them you got here?
There's 100 here.
100?
100, yeah. And that's probably about roughly 5 acres.
Okay.
And these are planted on a 35-foot spacing. They recommended 40, but I thought 35. It just worked out 35 was better for the area I had. As far as getting these rows in here, I think 35 feet is going to be plenty big enough.
And what's the ultimate goal of these trees? What's their destiny?
Food production.
Oh, it's food production?
Yeah.
What's it?
The chestnut is one of the highest caloric, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Caloric nuts there is.
Okay.
You know.
So it's a big energy producer.
Right. And it's particularly good for livestock. Wildlife. It's just a lot of energy in that food, and I figured, if nothing else, if things got really bad for us and all the trucks quit running and everything, you could at least get chestnuts.
Yeah. All right, so
my goal, this is just a lot of dirt that was brought in from when they built the Costco over in Augusta.
Yeah.
And this soil out here, this was an old cotton farm at one time, and so cotton is really depletes your soil real quickly, and it's and being the Piedmont area, there's a lot of slope, and so mostly what happened is they farmed this land as long as they could, and then all the topsoil washed away. because the people that lived on this farm here were the first family, one of the first families that came in this area, and so before this it was all Native American, and so they farmed it for probably basically about 100 years, and then by that time it just wouldn't grow anything else. And so,
do you know what tribe it was?
This in here would have been probably the Crete.
Crete,
C-R-E-T-E, I think.
okay.
The Cherokee and the Crete kind of came together. This is pretty much about where the Cherokee came down to, and the Crete was coming from the south.
Okay.
So it's probably the Crete. But anyway, so one of the big problems you've got is that the soil is just so poor. And so what I want to do here is get as much clover mixed in with this weeds or whatever that you can. And we've got some crimson clover, which is this little plant right here, and just a clover leaf. And of course, a clover is a legume, which a legume is a nitrogen-fixing plant. It's got nodules on the roots that take nitrogen out of the air and put it into the soil. So that makes it where the plants that you're planting, like these trees, will actually at one time, if you've got a good cover of clover here, and they're going to get their fertilizer actually from the other plants around them. And also, clover's one of the best plants you can have for bees. So this is about what you want to do in a situation like this, and because this soil would not support row crop farming or something that you're trying to actually produce food on.
Yeah.
There's just not enough nutrient here to do it. But it will do. These trees will grow, and it will eventually have where the plant material on the top of the soil will actually fertilize those trees.
And then what was the other clover?
I wanted to put white clover.
What? So you're going to add white clover?
I add white clover.
And what's the difference between that and red?
I just think the white clover is a little bit more hardy.
Okay.
And it seems that the crimson clover, as the summer goes on, it just kind of fades out. The white clover will stay here.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
The health of the property would improve over time, and I wouldn't have to spend a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want to spend all my time out here taking care of livestock, and so one of my overall goals was to create a little place where you could actually use it for educational purposes.
Yeah.
You could bring kids out here and show them, something about the outdoors and what you actually could do and what somebody could actually do with a piece of property like this, and it'd be worthwhile, and give something back.
Well, it would make the soil healthy again, like you were talking about.
Soil healthy again, and it's this is the way you reduce your carbon footprint.
Yeah.
If you do something like this, you're actually negating that carbon footprint.
Yeah.